Welcome to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. Today, let's talk about caution when creating culture. Welcome back to the Kale Houser Leadership Secrets podcast. My name is Kale Houser, co-founder and CEO of Kale Houser Leadership. I appreciate you joining me tonight, today, this morning, this afternoon, whatever it is or whenever it is that you are listening to this podcast or watching this video. Hey, let me know. Is this helpful to you? Let me know. Is this something that you're finding beneficial? The topics that I'm choosing, is those the types of topics that are most valuable to you? Or is there something entirely that I'm missing that I haven't thought about yet or haven't gotten around to yet that would be absolutely time sensitive and critical for you? That is one of the benefits of doing a daily podcast, is that I can be very flexible in the type of topics that I present, and hopefully meet you right where you are at, and if you're having any types of those struggles or new situations. Absolutely. The best thing that you can do, though, is head on over to VIP Leadership Mastermind.com and check out and become part of our mastermind. You get a pretty smoking deal for your first month. No contracts, no commitments, nothing like that. And it's month to month. But you get to join our leadership mastermind that meets twice a week. So for that month, you get 2, 4, 6, 8 live with Liz and I. We focus on leadership, we focus on sales, marketing, all those types of things that go into building an amazing business. And it's pretty incredible. So you don't want to miss it. And once you join, of course, you'll get access to all the previous recordings. We'll have our membership site set up soon, so that will be much easier. But for the meantime, head on over to VIPLeadershipMastermind.com. Get enrolled today. We'll send you a pretty amazing, legit gift, as well as you'll get a pretty massive discount on your first month, and it'll be hugely beneficial. But only if you are interested in becoming a better leader, only if you're interested in making your business grow. So if you're not interested in any of those two things, then yes, pass on by. It's definitely not for you. But today we are talking about culture. So if you were not aware, or if you had not listened to any of my previous podcasts or really done any sort of studying on leadership in general, you, as the business leader, as the leader of your organization, you are responsible for the culture of that organization. Now, being responsible does not necessarily mean you are the one doing and creating the culture, but it is your responsibility to ensure whatever culture is being created is the type of culture that you want, is the type of culture that will drive your business forward. Because not all cultures work in all different kinds of businesses. You may have a very fast-paced, hard-charging, very strict, dedicated, hardcore, sales team. Like Grant Cardone's sales team, they are what I would consider, they're hardcore. They are very serious. They're professional. They're very good at it, but they practice at it. They role play. They do meetings, the whole 9 yards. They are all in, sold 10x, as you would expect somebody in the Grant Cardone organization to be. That may not translate to your construction business. That may not translate to your accounting firm. So you need to figure out what kind of culture is it that you want to create in your business. Now, again, whether this is on purpose or you're abdicating this kind of responsibility to somebody else, culture is being created in your business. Think about any place you've ever worked. Presumably you've had other jobs. Presumably, maybe as a young teenager, you worked at your local pizza joint, or you delivered newspapers, or did something, right? Or maybe you never had a job until after college. But that first experience, when you enter an organization, whether it be a restaurant, a retail store, any of those places, any business, it has a feel, it has a culture. And it's based around what the values are, ideally what the core values and goals of that business are, as set forth by the manager, by the business owner, by the CEO, whomever that is in that organization. Now, good leaders are very purposeful about this. They understand this, and they understand that culture is the driving force of pretty much everything in the business. That without those set standards of culture, what we will accept and what we will not accept, the business ultimately will fail, or it will morph into something that is no longer recognizable and either drive them out or cause the business to go out of business, because it will morph into something that was not the original intent. So I wanted to caution you, as the business leader, as the department head, as the manager of your organization, that if you are not thinking about culture in the specifics of, what kind of hours do we work? What kind of attitudes do we have? How do we treat our customers? How do we treat each other? How do we treat our vendors? What kind of advertising do we do? Are there marketplaces that we will or will not enter? What are things that we don't do? If you have not kind of gone through that process and set those standards of culture and being able to communicate that to your staff, communicate to your new hires, to that where that is now part of who they are as well, and beyond that, be able to hire based on that, then culture is being created outside of your purview. It will be created by somebody in your organization. Usually that is a very strong-willed, strong personality type of person, right? Whether they're super outgoing or they're grumpy all the time, like they will create the culture absent of you doing it. And this is where it's kind of the natural forming culture. And usually it doesn't form naturally in a good way. It doesn't form naturally based off around a really positive person who's a member of your staff that, you know, even though you're the leader, you're the one in charge making the decision, you're the decision maker, you're the owner, but you have this person that you're allowing to create the culture, that doesn't last. Because ultimately they start to go, oh, well, this is my business. And that's how that inner office politics works. That's how owners and business leaders get kind of driven out, or they get usurped in some form or fashion. Usually they end up having to sell the business, right? So it's this big, huge mess. So the fix to that, the obvious fix to that is you understanding that I, Kale Houser, CEO, business owner, am the creator of the culture in my organization. And now once I understand that, and I understand what kind of culture do I have based on my core values, based on the goals I have for the business, based on my beliefs, based on the type of business, how do I communicate that to my staff? So now they understand all those things. Now how do we communicate that to our customers? How do we market that to our ideal clients? How do we market that to our competitors? How do we market that to people that want to collaborate with us? Because that's what people are attracted to. We're attracted to other people that are similar to us or have similar goals, to where we can be mutually beneficial, especially on the collaboration part and even on the client part. Like, I want to do business with people that believe similar things to me. I want to do business with people that they're on the same path as I am, or they have the same goals as I do, right? It's a natural fit. Very rarely do we enter into business with somebody that, like, hey, I'm going this way and they're going this way. You're like, oh, we're going to make great partners. No, it doesn't work, because you're a mismatch. You're not aligned in your direction and intent. So let me caution you again. If you are not the one purposely creating the culture in your organization, somebody is. It is being created, and it is being solidified day after day after day. But that is your responsibility. That's your job as the leader. Again, nobody said it was hard. Nobody said being a leader was easy. But this is part of what makes or breaks amazing corporations, and what brings in and attracts amazing talent to your organization is the culture that you create. So whether on purpose or just naturally, culture is being created in your business. Make sure you recognize this. If you are not doing it on purpose, start. If that means you need to fire somebody that's negatively impacting your culture, whether because you made mistakes in the past or you ignored this aspect of your business, do that. Or have that conversation with them. Say, hey, I know we've been doing it like this for a long time, but this is no longer acceptable. This is the new direction of our business. This is the new direction of how we're going to treat our clients. This is the new direction of how we're going to hire, how we're going to fire, like whatever that looks for you, to right that ship. Because that's your responsibility, the culture of your organization. If you need help with that, please visit VIPLeadershipMastermind.com. Let us help you. That is what our leadership mastermind is all about. Learning from each other, learning the leadership skill set, the tools, the techniques, the mindset, the accountability, in order to do these types of things that may be hard decisions, that may be hard things to implement because they've just been going on so long in the opposite direction. So we can absolutely joining me, no matter where you're at, and no matter where you're at in the world. Have a fantastic afternoon. Bye.